Now, the approach. So the starting point, like I said, is we have very, very few people who invested in mutual funds. We have very, very few people, consequently, who are receiving good advice. So we start with a premise that there is this unadvised saver, right? And therefore, we look at the RBI statistics of exactly where is it that Indian savers are today investing their financial assets. We don't take into account physical assets. We don't take into account gold, because if I have a property, how do I know from an RBI statistics whether that property is a self-occupied one or an investment, right? So we cut out all of the physical assets and we look at, okay, here's the financial assets, here's how it's mapped, here is how in the last 10 years the average Indian has actually invested his or her money in financial assets. And from there we say, okay, let's assume that this individual now gets the benefit of good advice. That then is broken up into 4 stages. First is he gets the benefit of strategic asset allocation in funds with advice on appropriate asset classes, which is what our product suitability, etc., is supposed to make us do. Then he gets behavioral guidance to check his emotional impulses, because the moment he goes from a fixed coupon bearing investment into the world of market risk, there come all the emotions, and there comes your biggest role in terms of checking those impulses. And then, of course, we have what all of us love doing, which is fund selection. Let's look at X fund and not Y fund, because we think we can deliver a lot of alpha on that. And then there is portfolio rebalancing, which many of us do, many of us don't, right? And then there are, of course, some others where there is a potential source of alpha, which we have consciously ignored in this report, because those are model specific. So all of these 4 aspects can be delivered by any intermediary, whether MFD, RIA, whatever be your revenue model, all of you can deliver this and probably are delivering this. There are some, like tactical asset allocation, which are delivered by only certain intermediaries. Some intermediaries by choice don't get into tactical asset allocation. So for those who do that, there is a potential additional source of alpha. Some of you offer a lot of tax planning advice, some don't. Those who offer that, there is an incremental advisor alpha that you add on tax planning. Some of you look at cost as a source of advisor alpha. Those of you who are RIAs and offer, let's say, the direct plans with a fee which is less than the difference, you can argue that that is also advisor alpha. Now, all of those are model specific. We've kept the model specific out. We've just focused on those broad parameters that every intermediary can and should deliver.